This is me, about to be hit with a custom meteor that I made with only command blocks, but how did we get here? Well, ever since I made a Discord server, people have been posting their video ideas in this channel. Now, most of the time it's nothing crazy, but then someone suggested that I add magic to Minecraft, and my mind was like, yeah, we gotta add magic. So my plan is to add the entire magic progression system starting with this wand. Now, as you can see, it's a very simple wand. All it does is summon a projectile that does little amounts of damage. So the way it works is it detects that I right-clicked while holding a warp fungus on a stick with a specific name, resets the right-click detection scoreboard, summons an invisible armor stand, and makes sure it faces the direction I'm facing, then starts teleporting it forward while displaying some particles. Once it gets close to an entity, it damages it and kills it. Now, currently, you can just spam this, which isn't really survival friendly, so let's add a mana bar. Also, I realized that if I turn off the command block that resets my score, it turns into a flamethrower, so Alright, so mana bar. All it took was basically a scoreboard, and yeah, we got a working mana bar that recharges every second and caps at 30. So now, we need a way to obtain this item, so I made this entity have a 50% chance of spawning with a wandering trader. As you can see, it trades these placeholder items for souls, but how do we get souls? Well, I made it that whenever you kill a mob with your wand, you get a soul. But how do we get the wand? Well, I decided to give it a custom recipe, so now if you drop these items on the floor, it turns into the wand. You might have also noticed that I changed the particles and the sound of the wand. That's because previously it used fire, which is gonna be used in a different way with a different item, but you're gonna have to wait for that. Also, I made it that you can combine a stack of soul fragments into a soul, but anyways, it's time to add another item. So I introduce you to the kinetic dagger. Now, this one doesn't have any special right-click abilities, rather it's a melee weapon. And you might be asking, how does a melee weapon classify as a magic weapon? And to that I say, f you, it's my video. Anyways, it attacks whenever you hit an entity with it and deals massive amounts of knockback as well as damage. And it's pretty fun to play around with. Now you might be asking how does it deal damage and even knockback if there are no enchantments on it. You see, when I put enchantments on it, it didn't look that nice, so I decided to take the more complicated way of setting some of my attributes to higher values whenever holding the item, and setting them back to normal when not. If you don't know what attributes are, they're pretty much just your statistics that you can change. For example, you can control how fast, strong or big you are. Now, before I add more complicated weapons, I decided to add a way to increase your mana. So now, this guy sells you a stack of mana for 3 souls, which you can then turn into 2 mana upgrades. Now, these ones don't increase your limit, rather your rate of mana regeneration. The first one doubles it, and the second one doubles it again. And you might be asking, how do you activate them? Well, all you gotta do is walk up to an enchanting table and drop it on it. And there you go, you have insanely fast mana regeneration now. If you can afford the netherite block and the nether star, of course. Speaking of affordable, this video is sponsored by XPhost. XPhost is a creator-first Minecraft server hosting company that offers server subscriptions from just £1.5 per gigabyte. That is roughly 2 times cheaper than most server hosting services. That's pretty good. Now you might think that this comes with a price, but no, other than the £1.5. They have 100% green power servers, a 5-star rating, and they have 99.9% uptime service level agreement. And for you nerds out there, they use Ryzen 9 CPUs for maximum performance. I also partner with them so you can get 25% off of your first month by using code HYDROBY or clicking the link in the description. Their customer service is also very nice and helpful, so yeah, thank you for sponsoring this video, XPhost. I kiss you on the belly. Let's get right back into the video. So for my next item, I want to add something that feeds entities in radius, so let's work on that. Okay, so I added a recipe for it, and it makes a sound when you hit something, but it doesn't do anything yet. So what I want to do is close the entities to the player get frozen for more time, which we can do with the distance variable. See, if I just place 4 command blocks, each with different distance values, and we visualize it, it creates these 4 rotating circles. Now we can detect entities in the circles when the item is used and apply a different amount of softness to them. I also made it so players holding the item are immune to it, just to make sure that you don't freeze your friends in the middle of combat.
Michael! Don't leave me here!
Anyways, it sounds cool, it feels cool, literally, but it doesn't look cool, so let's work on that. So now I made it so it summons a block display at every entity that's in the radius, but it's easier if I just show you. Oh! That's very nice, that's very nice. Oh, okay, the disappearing is a little fucked, I'm not sure why. But other than that, it works. So after a quick fix, I'm finally done with the entire magic update, other than... Now you might be asking, what is that? Well, it's gonna be one of the most complicated and overpowered items I've ever made. So I want to add the Sigil that when held with some one of these transmutation circles, and then you can cast spells with it. So let's make the transmutation circle. So there we go. Now it's some of the transmutation circulatory position whenever you hold the sigil, and I'm actually pretty proud of this. But how are we gonna cast spells? Alright, so here's my idea. You could select 2 of the 4 elements, and depending on the order and what you selected, you could cast a spell by clicking this middle purple thing. If you visualize this, as you can see, you could cast a total of 16 spells. And for the selection of the elements, we can use interaction entities. By the way, this took me like 3 hours to figure out, so you can Anyways, after a couple hours of work, I have the entire thing working, so let me speed through the spells. Fire and fire creates a trail of fire, fire and water makes a steam that blinds enemies, fire and air gives you strength, fire and earth summons a laggy fireball for some reason, water and fire summons a wind charge below you, water and earth summons a frog, water and air summons a trail of water, earth and fire creates a trail of lava and magma, while earth and water reverses it, earth and air takes a hole, water and water gives you regen, earth and earth creates pillars, air and earth places sand, air and water places water, air and air makes you float, and air and fire summons a meteor. So after about a week, I could finally enjoy the fruits of my labor, and I decided to call on my friends and try it out with them. Gonna want to.
Kinetic dagger.
Kinetic dagger.
Wait, you want us to? Why don't we stab you instead?
Oh,
why do we have to stab
fuck?
you?
Yeah, that's not him. You're disrespecting me, bruv. I'll start you up, mate. I'll start you up.
Wow, we have the freeze rod.
Oh, this is really cool.
Sack of mana. You can, guys.
Oh, that was an accident. No,
Stop.
that was an accident. That
Stop.
was an accident. That was an accident.
Sigil.
What?
It does make a bit of lag. It makes a bit of lag.
Yeah.
Just ignore that.
Oh, it doesn't even...
Look at me.
Fire.
The issues probably.
Yeah, this shit is...
Fire.
Oh, look at the lag. Look at the fireball.
Look at the... What the fuck? I swear.
Yo, that's basically what I expected to happen.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can also do that.
Oh, wait.
Anyways, if you wanna try, the word download is in my Discord, and if you do download it, then I highly advise you to use it in multiplayer because it's probably not gonna work. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, leave a comment if you would like to, and yeah, have a nice one.
I'm dead.
Oh, he is dead. Good observation.
Bro, I feel like an old man right now trying to select each fucking element.